statistically the best Pac-12 quarterback in history, and sometimes you just got to fight through it. I mean, you can pick out whoever your favorite quarterback is, and I can certainly circle a game he's had like this. So, and he probably didn't, relatively speaking, have it against quite as good a competition. But it's just part of it.
Did you have any sense this was coming?
Um, Shoot, I have a sense that this could be coming if we play Molly Putz Junior High School. I mean, there's a point to where you go out there, you do your job collectively, and that's the biggest challenge of team sports. Everybody doing it simultaneously, and and the one thing that is true about us, I mean, we're very thin. We're a thin team, and our first level guys, when we play together and we play extremely hard, and when we do that, we can beat anybody. But our margin of error is not what everybody else's is. That's kind of at that elite level. Our margin of error is quite narrow, and and if we aren't in sync at a very high level, we get normal quicker than some teams do.
Would you rank this as one of your worst offensive line performances in your tenure here?
No, no, I don't. I can't say that. I have. I mean, you'll have to do the math. However many games and I know that you guys like definitions of stuff. You can look at all the games I've coached and however many years I've coached, and that's not even possible to say.
Do you feel like Washington's figured out some way to attack you, or maybe other teams have?
No, I don't. I think it's I think they're a really good team. I mean, attack us. They attack a lot of teams this way. Yeah, I mean, right now we're in a long line of a lot of people. And and I kind of did get a kick out of it. They'll rank them one of the nation's top recruiting classes, and then ours comes in whatever y'all rank that, and then if we don't beat Washington, you're stunned. How'd this happen? Well, I mean, and we've made a lot of ground this year, and we've done a lot of, I think, very good things. That and the fact, we've proven that we could beat some teams that Washington hasn't proven they can beat. But with that said, I do think that we have a little bigger margin, or a narrower margin of error, and I think that we've got to be able to generate our best. I also think that. I think there's a little bit of the, just the overemphasis of the thing that I think that Washington's a lot more comfortable with because they've had success in the past, and and so we just got to fight through it, really.
Mike, why do you think Luke struggled in that first half? What was it that he was doing? Was he over analytical again?
No, he's getting hit nonstop. He got hit nonstop. Offensive line wise, he's getting pressured all the time. I think. I mean, he's in a long line. I mean, the notion that Luke's the only guy that played bad, of course, is ridiculous. I didn't feel like we, collectively the whole game played well at any position. I mean, if you did, I'd be curious to know who it was, because I'd be happy to go pat that guy in the back and say, look, everybody else played like hell, but you played really good. But that's really not the game I saw out there.
How surprised were you they were able to get so much pressure with 3 tonight, and how much of a wrench did that throw into everything else?
Well, it was. I mean, I think that was the key to the whole thing. I mean, we're trying to do too much, over trying, get frustrated, get out of sync, and they were able to get by with 3. Well, then there's a point to where, we have to push the ball down the field in order to get back in the thing. And of course, the nose guard, the guy, and I have the utmost respect for him, but I can't pronounce his name, or I forget how to. I think he's the best player. Like, if you ask me who's the best player on the team, he's the best player on their team. And I have respect for all the stars, Jake Browning, and then of course I think Miles Gaskin gets better and better as his career goes on. But for my money, the best player on the team's that nose. But because he's disruptive to more things than he gets statistics for. But I think that it wasn't like okay, they can just do that every time. I mean, they could today, okay, but anyway, I mean, it is what it is, and we have to live with it.
Did you have a good viewpoint of Hercules' ejection targeting call?
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to write all the comments in the world on that. You know, I mean, obviously, my feelings on what I can talk about, I think the targeting rule's insane, they need to get rid of it. And I think that, there's those that are afraid to say that they're not against it, but who quietly are, cause then they think you'll criticize them and say that, you know, that person's not sensitive of player safety. Everybody's sensitive of player safety. You know, the heart's in the right place as far as the whole targeting rule thing, but it, you know, it can't be effectively administered, generally speaking, not about that specific play. So they need to get rid of that. And then I think that, you know, cause if you compare all the targetings over, you know, the course of a season, what's called, what's not called, I think that's, well, I mean, you gotta be able to do it effectively, and we've proven we can, so.
So you had touched on it earlier about how this team can go out and play teams and beat teams that UW has struggled with and beaten USC earlier in the season. Why is it? What's it about the Apple Cup that you go back years and you still haven't been able to beat UW?
Well, you act like there's a wealth of people that can. I mean, you know, go through our conference. I mean, next question, you can go look at all
Mike,
that
what
stuff.
goes into you deciding when to pull a quarterback and not? Because there were 2 games where you pulled Luke for Helinski, but then there were 2 games that he didn't do as well and you kind of left him in. Like, what goes through your head? How do you make that decision?
Well, I make the decision by, you know, one thing, if just he's playing poorly, you know, then it's an individual thing that I think you can address. I thought our entire team played poorly. And so, you know, somehow as coaches, we weren't able to get the anxiety out of their head and get the best performance out of them as far as, you know, going out on the field and, you know, just playing together. I mean, we were anxious, we were geeked up, we were hyped. We played extremely hard, don't get me wrong there. We played extremely hard. But, you know, we played anxious, played frantic, overran things, over-pursued things, over-tried, overextended, you know, all the overs. Overshot, overran, over-pursued, overextended. We had a lot of overextended. You know, overthrew. We had a couple of those. Yeah, you know, just and so, you know, the biggest thing is the team as a whole needs to settle down. Because it wasn't a Luke specific problem. Because I mean, I could have stuck Helinski in there and had the D-line massacre him too. But you know, I mean, the biggest thing is I was, you know, in the first quarter I felt like maybe we could get them regrouped and gathered in. You know, somewhere going into the second quarter. Then I thought halftime, and then, you know, and then we weren't able to.
Do you think pulling Leach twice this season, or pulling Luke twice this season, has affected his play at all?
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Mike, it seemed like as the week went on, and especially today, internet heated up more about you leaving. Today it was Tennessee. You expect to be back next year? Are you happy?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm, you know, strictly focused on the Washington State Cougars, and I mean, you know, I have a limited knowledge of the internet, which is pretty clear. You know, I mean, I don't even turn anything on other than my phone, and then when it gets stuck, my kids turn it on. So, you know, you guys are on your own with that because I can't, you know, speak to rumors I don't know anything about really. But, you know, the biggest thing is I'm, you know, focused on Washington State, excited about that, and we're going to a great bowl, and I for one couldn't be happier.
2 more for Coach.
What do you tell your players now, Mike, to regroup for the bowl? I mean, they had sort of that, you know, a chance to play for the Pac-12 title if they'd won this game. How do you kind of get them motivated for that bowl game?
Well, I don't even understand people that can't be motivated for a bowl game. I mean, you start with a whole bunch of people are trying to get to bowls. Okay, most people don't get to go to bowls. Some people don't get to go to bowls